All right. Good evening, everybody. Hope everyone is well out there. Let me see. I'm going to try this tonight. I'm going to put, maybe that'll work. Put an Instagram kind of right next to the Facebook. I don't know if that's going to work. All right. Welcome to Joel's College of Swing Era Knowledge. Looks like everything is going here. Let me get the Instagram a little better here. There we go. All right. Good evening, everybody. Hope everyone's doing well out there. Once again, welcome to Joel's College of Swing Era Knowledge. Monday night jazz, Tuesday Charleston topics, Wednesday Lindy Hop and Jitterbug, Thursday our local Thursday evening swing regular 7 o'clock lesson for some normalcy. Friday shag. Tonight, Saturday, Balboa and BAL-SWING topics, and Sundays, teacher and organizer chats of all kinds of good stuff. So I'm not sure if you've been chiming in or checking in or not, but I think these stay out there in the Facebook lands. If you miss it, you can always go back and find it later. I also have a YouTube channel called Retro Rhythm, where we've been loading all of these sessions, the College of Swing Era Knowledge, over to that page. So you can like that YouTube page and check that out. Okay, so tonight's discussion is Balboa History. Who did you talk to? So I posted a picture of this little thing here. It's a front and back. And I messaged Bobby, I think it was originally in the All Balboa weekend from 2008. And then since All Bal is in June and Bal Rendezvous is in April, was in April back in the day, I think the next year in 2009, could have been 2010, 11, 12, 13, I don't know. But we basically, I took the same blurb, put it in this little flyer that everybody got in their registration. And you can give that a read as far as the details go. I think it's quite telling. The one line I'm going to read that sums it up. We can't tell you anything definitive about the creation of the 70-plus-year-old dance called Balboa. How about that? And for those of you that know Bobby White, like if Bobby White says we don't have definitive information on the history of Balboa, believe me, that cat has done his research, and there is no definitive history of Balboa. But we do have some interesting people that we've talked to, hence the discussion tonight. So you're going to be able to get off your couch or out of your office chair and try some things out a little bit with me tonight. And so without further ado, welcome to Joel's College of Swing Era Knowledge, Balboa Edition, History of Bal. Who did you talk to? And if you're enjoying this, don't forget to donate even $1 or $2. We're getting a lot of views on these things. Even $1 or $2 will really, really, really help us out. So it's just click, $1, $2, just send it our way. We'd really appreciate it. Okay, so we're going to start with my Balboa mentor. Well, I had a few of them, but we were lucky enough to work, when I say we, Valerie and I had a chance to work with Maxie Dorf, who, if you're a Balboa aficionado, you know him as probably the king of BAL-SWING, king of Balboa, whatever you want to label him. He was one of the greats. And Maxie, so this is our first who. Maxie said that the Balboa came from the Charleston. Now, you got to know a little bit about Maxie. Maxie's sister would take him when he was really young to Charleston contests back in the day. And so his roots are in the Charleston. And so that's where I feel like he just Maxie would probably say the dance that he was started with, Charleston, and then when he learned Balboa, just saying it came from it, I'm making that kind of jump. But that's a fun tip or fact about Maxie. He used to dance Charles. His sister would take him out and make him win Charleston contest. So let's get up off the couch and check this out. So here's my theory on the Charleston. Okay, so we're gonna and we're specifically for now we're gonna do some Lindy Charleston, or maybe like call it some stretch 30s Charleston. So if you have your basic Charleston as a rock step, kick step, and this is your basic rock step, kick step. Now, keep in mind, all these kicks are pretty big, which is pretty much a big no-no when it comes to Balboa. So now, what if you went face-to-face with a partner? So I brought my partner, if I was side-by-side doing some Charleston, and I bring my partner face-to-face. So now we're both doing this kind of step, step, kick, kick, and kick, step, step, kick, kick, and kick. Now I'm going to replace that kick on 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So now I'm going to have a 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to replace that kick with a step, step. 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'm going to go a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, keeping the kicks of Charleston on 3 and 7. Let's say I now bring my partner in closer to me, and I do a hold instead of the kick, and I go a step, step, hold, and a step, step, hold, and now I pack the ballroom so big that I can't travel as much as I used to do when I did my Charleston, and I have a step, step, hold, and a step, step, hold, a step, step, hold, step, step, hold. So now let's construct it back to the Charleston. So now I'm going to travel more with it. Here's the holds. And now I'm going to add the kicks. Kicking instead of holding. A 1, 2, kick. A step, step, kick. I'm going to put that kick back in. A kick and kick. A step, step, kick. A kick and kick. And now I've just gone back to the Lindy or 30s Charleston, deconstructing that from the Charleston. So, yes. Yeah, Valerie, good to see you. Well, see you. Yes, he would win those contests. I think she took him out there to get some spending cash. So, yes, that is Maxie's history. Now, no dancers have been harmed in the making of this history. I am simply passing on what literally has been said to me. So this isn't like a he said, she said. This is direct from the man himself. So I'm giving you like second degree history information. But as you see, as I progress, who knows, right? Okay, so Maxie Dorf influence is the Charleston when it comes to the history of Balboa. So let's put a song on real quick and let's just dance a little bit of Charleston, and then we'll dance and like shorten it up, take out the kicks, replace it with some holds, and really get it small for the Balboa. Okay. So we got our Charleston. Replace that kick with a step, step. Step, step, kick. Step, step, kick. Now, replace the kick with a hold and make it smaller. Now we reconstruct it to kicks instead of holds. Kick, kick. Kick, kick. 3, 7, 3, 7, 3, 7, 3, 7, 3, 7, 3, 7, 3, 7, 3, 7, 3, 7, 3, Here we go. So now there's our first little bit of quote unquote history. All right. So now, this is fun. Now we're going to go to the great Willie Desitoff. I had a chance to work with Willie a lot in his basement in using the apparatus. And for any of you that had a chance to work with Willie, you know what I mean by the apparatus and doing some different footwork things and whatnot. And so then I'm just the fun part about this is when I've done this in live workshops and stuff, I'll just put on some music and dance because Willie said the dance came from the rumba. Here we go. Okay, now I am 95% Polish. My Latin hips do not exist, but I'm simply passing on Willie's history. Yes, Willie Desitoff said the dance came from the rumba. Rumba was popular on the East Coast in the 1930s, spread its way across America and whatnot, but the Latin influence. Now, if we look at specifically what, all right, okay, Facebook land there's a lot of laughing emojis coming across. Thanks, everybody. Okay, so if we look at the rumba step, now this is what I think is interesting because again, Maxi Dorf was known for holding on 3 and 7, a 1, 2, 3, a 5, 6, 7. Some people would even label that as Maxi's basic. Now Willie, so because of the rumba, a 1, 2, 3, a 5, 6, 7. So now if we put a Balboa shape on that, we have a 1, 2, 3, a 5, 6, 7, a 1, 2, 3, a 5, 6, 7. So we're stepping on 3 and 7 versus holding on 3 and 7. If we had to give it like a label. Nowadays, some teachers call that an uphold basic versus a downhold basic, holding 3 and 7 or stepping 3 and 7. There's a lot of stuff, a lot of variations that you can do, but those would be the two primary rhythms. Valerie says, didn't he later say he made that up? I don't know. I'm sticking to it because I like it. It's fun. I think it makes a lot of sense as far as like rhythmic choices. And I like the fact that the Charleston having the kicks on 3 and 7 and contrasting that with the stepping of 3 and 7 of a Latin. Yes, okay, there we go. Finally, these lessons are speaking my dance language. I love it. Viva la freaking salsa. Love it. Okay, so again, I'm just passing on stuff that came into these ears and are now stored with all that other knowledge and then coming out to all of you. Okay, so we've got Maxi with the Charleston, Willie with the rumba, and now we're going to go to another Balboa great, Bart Bartola. Now, Bart said, I've got to find the footage of him saying it. I had a rough time today trying to find clips and footage. My hard drives are not cooperating with me. Technology's not looking so good for me. Okay, so he said the Balboa came from the double shuffle. Okay, now the double shuffle is basically a traveling BAL, a running BAL. I have further historical references on this. We're going to go now to Ann Mills talking about the double shuffle. Bear with me 1 second. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Oh my goodness. I had this ready to go earlier. Now, there it is. Okay, so here's the great Ann Mills talking about Bob and Sammy Sergeson. Hopefully you can hear this well.
Now you can understand this, Joel. He would do a running BAL, go halfway around, stop cold, and reverse.
Yeah,
and poor Sammy would get so worn out, so he'd stand there looking around. And again, I was second best.
Yeah.
But
well, I think he liked to dance. Anybody.
But Sammy was his partner.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I was your partner, but
Sergeson. I'll get you the spelling of it just a minute, honey. He did a running BAL. He was fairly tall and he was strong. So as he did his running BAL and went around, we got airborne. Literally, we walked the floor. And then he stopped and reversed and he go back and
when he was doing his running BAL, was he traveling
this way?
With all these
they're going around and he reversed to go to Africa. He's going all the way around
Yeah. Oh, you're crazy. He was a wonder. And you're tiny. Do you ever get airborne?
Oh, yeah.
So there you are.
Okay.
That's the way. Sergeson.
Okay. Okay, now I was trying to double dip there. I don't know if that worked well or not. Hearing Ann's audio and then playing the clip. And I tried to move, hopefully, let me see if I do this here. If you can see, I'm sorry, Instagram. I think Instagram got a good shot of it. Let me just play it really quick again here. Let me see, let me angle it. Okay, there we go. You can see him traveling around, moving around, did a little dip there, zipping around this way. Bob and Sammy is what the announcer just said. Okay, so he's going around there. Sorry, Instagram land, but I think Instagram, I think you got a better view of it last time. Okay, who were the dancers on my phone? That was Bob and Sammy Sergeson, Serghison, and that's exactly who Ann Mills is talking about. She literally said, Joel, you would love it. He would do a running BAL, Bob and Sammy Sergeson. And I don't know what clip this is from. Bobby White, Nick Williams, Marty was looking for this one. But it's out there somewhere. It's in somebody's montage or compilation or something like that. And so in talking about, and I hope I can find it, but I have footage of Bart talking about where Balboa came from. And he says it comes from the double shuffle. And I'm like, what are you talking about? What is the double shuffle? And then he was talking about Bob Sergeson and this traveling BAL. And so Serghison, Sergeson. Yep, Bob and Sammy. You just have the last name. Valerie has it spelled on the Facebooks. So angle it up from the reflection. Okay. So if I can find where this came from, I promise I'll share that. But I think everybody got a chance to see that. He's basically doing holding 3 and 7, but he also does triples. He does step, step, shuffle, step, 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 shuffle, step. And he's doing just like Ann says. He's traveling around, and then he stops, reverses direction, and zips around. And Ann talks about how fun that was. Now, what I find interesting about this, again, historically thinking about, for me personally, it's not like any dance started and another dance form just ended. Valerie says, spell it again. SERGHISON. Okay, so here's what I think is neat from a fan of the history of dance, swing era dance, and whatnot. So prior to this, all of the ballroom dances were going on, foxtrot, waltzes, things like that. And so the ballrooms would have, a lot more movement. And so who's to say that when they started to add the Balboa rhythms in there, that they didn't just continue to travel around and play with their Balboa. So once again, the who, specifically for this talk, is Bart Bartola. The link then is to Ann Mills, as far as her talking about Bob and Sammy Sergeson doing a running bal, but it's what Bart called the double shuffle. The double shuffle. Okay, so we got Maxie Dorf with the Charleston, Willie Desitoff with the rumba, Bart Bartola with the double shuffle, and now, ladies and gentlemen,
Ed and Inez Thompson, and they're doing a thing called the Balboa.
I've been watching that couple all afternoon, and they are smooth. But Dean, just what is the Balboa?
The Balboa, Letitia, was invented in Southern California in the 30s and is a smooth version of a dance called the shag. Ed says it's the only way to hold someone close in your arms and still dance the fast music.
all right, sorry, Instagram. Hold on, I'm gonna play the audio for. Sorry, Instagram. I'm like doing Blair Witch right now, so I'm gonna play it again for you.
That's Ed and Inez Thompson, and they're doing a thing called the Balboa.
I've been watching that couple all afternoon, and they are smooth. But Dean, just what is the Balboa?
The Balboa, Letitia, was invented in Southern California in the 30s and is a smooth version of a dance called the shag. Ed says it's the only way to hold someone close in your arms and still dance the fast music.
Okay, so there. This one we found the YouTube clip where it is, and I'll share that in the notes later tonight. So now, and this one's pulled. I mean, like I said, these are things that I heard, and I'm giving you, so you can all hear it from this clip. It's from a Bobby McGee's footage, and it's Dean Collins getting interviewed during a show called Let's Dance that was in California, and you can hear him. Hopefully you heard him say, they're doing a dance called the Balboa. The Balboa was invented in California. It comes from a dance called the shag. Okay, so I'm not sure if Dean Collins is known for his history lessons, but for the point of this discussion tonight, let's roll with it, because there is something known as single rhythm shag. And single rhythm shag in 1936, the popular version was single rhythm hopping on 4. So again, we can get up and try some of this out. So single rhythm shag hopping on 4 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Step, 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 hop, step, 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 hop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, who's to say they didn't smooth that out and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Or 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Pop, ba da da, chop, pop, pop. Okay, so because of this discussion, I like bringing this up. I like sharing that clip of Dean Collins making that statement. That one's, I think, the biggest stretch for those of us that have been studying the Balboa for a long time. But you know what? It's fun for the sake of this kind of discussion. And like I said, I've done this discussion in a few places, and it's just fun to play around with this. And again, I'm going to go back to Bobby's history. You can read I posted this in the event page that you can find. But he literally says the interesting point here: we can't tell you anything definitive about the creation of the 70-year-old plus dance known as Balboa. So like there's all kinds of stuff, and he gives reference to something really, really fun in this here. So take a look at that. Listen to the stuff that was done in this chat. And then I'm just going to leave us with some other audio clips from Ann Mills when she was talking to us. It was so cute. For those of you that ever had a chance to meet with the old timers, and they kind of liked that term. It was endearing for us to call them the old timers or the masters or whatever. And you think about, I don't know, I think about this a lot lately with like when people go out and just do their everyday shopping and whatnot. Back in the day, like people would always look nice. They put on, nice jacket, nice hat. Ladies would wear some nice dresses, things like that. Nowadays, like yoga pants and jeans and t-shirts, right? But my point is we went to go interview Anne, and she refused to be videotaped because she said she looked so awful, and she just looked amazing as always. They always look so good. So I just wanted to throw that in there. Like, you're like, why don't you have footage of her? Because she did not want to be filmed. But I have all these great audio clips of Anne talking about the history of Balboa and the way it was back there. So I'm going to play you a couple of things from Ann Mills. So from Ann Mills, it wasn't like she, in general, I'll give you the cliff notes of what I'm about to play for you. In general, people just, they just danced. They did everything. And so it didn't specifically, she never said it came specifically from another dance. She did talk about there's two basics. There's a step kick or a kick step, which you'll hear about. And so without further ado, here's Ann Mills talking about the history of Balboa.
And so they started there. They
started in the high schools, Fremont High School. Yeah. There was an e-bell club on Florence Avenue for 15 cents on Tuesday nights. We went.
They're the ones that really
15 cents, and there was no drinking. There was chaperoning. It was dancing. That is where, Joel, I could go with, my folks would let me go with my brother. He was 2.5 years older, and I'm like 14, but I could go with Joe on Tuesday night, and the Balboa was unbelievable.
How did everybody learn? Just from family and friends?
No, high school.
In the gym.
A lot of the high schools on Friday afternoon, there was a piano in the gym. And you went and you danced, and it's like street dancing. You just learn from one another. No lessons, nobody taught. Finally, Dean, much later in life, not at the beginning, he just freelanced, right. You saw what he did say. He said, John taught him a few tap dancing steps. He taught John a few gimmicks with what he was doing with the Lindy. Boy, they made a great team. It wasn't called, there was no BAL-SWING. It was, what happened is that when along came Lindy, and you can call it West Coast Swing, forget it, it's Lindy. When Lindy came along, Dean brought it, taught it to everybody. Then the Balboa dancers, we still did Bal. There are some very pretty breaks, and I'm sorry I can't remember all of them. We still did our thing. The breaks are just darling. A lot of footwork. And because wild dancing wasn't allowed in any of the dance places, even Lindy had to be quiet. You know, it was done gracefully, and it was done. Basic Bal is so easy to teach. This again, it's very easy. You take somebody's hand, they face you, and you say it's a 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you make a choice. You can do 1, 2, kick 4, or you can do 1, 2, 3, kick. But if you hold somebody's hand and you just back and forth, they learn the basic. Now from there you can vary it. My feeling always was everybody does it this way. I always did it 1, 2, kick 4. And I always slanted my feet behind myself.
So you brought your feet.
Yeah, there are 2 ways to do it. 2 basics. Joe. It's 1, 2, kick 4, or it's 1, 2, 3, kick.
My grandsons.
No, that's the basics.
Yep.
And if you want to do the sliding and all, but the count has to be that 1, 2, kick 4, or the 1, 2, 3, kick.
Yep. Either one of those two, because you could either step or kick.
That's right.
You only have 2 options.
That's right. Oi.
Okay. Hopefully that all came out okay over the speaker. Backtracking from the last thing she talked about, there's two things you can do. You can step and kick, or kick and step. Excellent. And then I laughed because she said, Balboa is easy to teach. She's like, you just grab somebody's hands and you go and you move and you either go step, 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 kick, or step, step, kick, step. She talked about when the Lindy Hop came around and you didn't have, and this goes along with a lot of other stories we heard from the old timers, you didn't have the physical space in the ballrooms back in the day. So Lindy Hop had to be more graceful. It had to be shortened. It had to be tamed down to fit the footwork of Balboa. I have another clip of Ann talking about how BAL-SWING was kind of the demise of the Balboa. So for those of you that when I say Balboa versus BAL-SWING, you know what I mean. If you don't, sign up for a Zoom private lesson. And then she said learning BAL, they just learned it from each other. There wasn't obviously any teachers, any, all BAL weekends, BAL rendezvous, anything like that going on back in the day. And the start of BAL, she said, they did it in their high school. There was a piano in the gym, they played music and they danced and they showed each other. And so I like how Anne kind of brings it into how do I word this? Into Balboa is easy. You just kick, step, or step, kick, and everybody just figured it out. So it's not like she hung her hat on any one particular dance, whether it was Maxie with the Charleston, Willie with the rumba, Bart with the double shuffle, Dean Collins with the shag, and now Ann Mills talking about how Balboa started. Ladies and gentlemen, I think that was perfect timing and a talk that could go on for a long time if we had it in person to practice stuff with each other. And man, when I looked at all my notes from this, there's some clips, there's some footage that I've got to try to find and share with everybody. But I hope you enjoyed tonight's episode of the College of Swing Era Knowledge Balboa Edition. If you are a teacher of Balboa out there, what I have just given you is Balboa gold for you to take this information and pass it on to your students. Please do so. Please reference this video. If you want to get in touch with me for any further details or information, please let me know. But also, please donate. The donation link is in the description. I have a YouTube channel, Retro Rhythm, where this class will go. And if this has brought any joy to you tonight, any joy to your dancing, any knowledge to your noggin when it comes to Balboa or dancing in general, please consider donating even $1 or $2. It will really help. I'm just going to say it. It's going to really help me and my family. If it was just me, I probably would hunker down with a PB&J, watch Netflix all day and not even stress. But I'm going live every night at 7 to share my knowledge and hopefully get some funding for my family. I've got 3 girls at home. And yeah, I'm straight up asking you for donations because everybody needs help right now, and I'm asking for $1 or $2. So please donate if you've enjoyed this class or any of the other College of Swing Era Knowledge sessions. And so, without further ado, Mondays, jazz, Tuesdays, Charleston, Wednesday, Lindy Hop, Thursday evening swing in Spokane, Friday, shag, Saturday, BAL and BAL-SWING, and Sunday, teacher and organizer discussions. I'm Joel. This is my College of Swing Era Knowledge. And as always, night, night, crazy about you.